Hi, Chris. Thanks for coming in today. My name is Charlotte, and I'm going to be interviewing you today.
Okay.
How's the weather over there?
It's not too bad. It's been better outside than most days last week, so definitely enjoying that.
Yeah, good. Well, so what is your current living situation right now?
So I live in Texas right now. I have a ranch I live with my wife and my two kids, and yeah, we've been living there for a couple years now.
How long have you been married to your wife?
Just over 12 years. Yeah.
Nice. Do you guys have any problems or has your marriage been pretty good?
I mean, every marriage has its ups and downs. We definitely had some struggles, but um, mainly the hardest times were, was in the military. I was a Navy SEAL, so there was definitely some periods of separation that were definitely hard to, learn to deal with, especially when the kids came around. So,
Mm-hmm. So, just kind of getting some background information on you. Where were you born?
I was born in Texas. I was born and raised in Texas, and I've never really lived outside of it. So,
Okay, so you grew up in Texas pretty
yeah,
much. Okay, nice. Um, did your parents raise you, or just your mom, or just your dad?
yeah. My parents, they had a good relationship, so they were both in the picture when I was raised. I was raised in Odessa, Texas. So,
Do you have any siblings?
I have a brother. I have my brother's name is Jeff.
Okay. What's your relationship like with your brother?
We're pretty close. We're not too far in age. He's 4 years younger than me, so we had that 1 year in high school together kind of thing, and we both were into rodeos a lot. So that was definitely something that we shared growing up.
Nice. So are you still as close as with him as you were when you were younger, or do you feel like you guys have kind of drifted apart?
I mean, we it's kind of hard for us to stay close because he joined the Marine Corps when I went into the Navy. So, I mean, I feel like our relationship is good, but we just don't see each other very often because of the different lifestyles we live.
Yeah, I see. So you have two children. How old are they?
My son just turned 18 and my daughter is 14, 4 years apart from them too.
Oh wow. Teenagers, that's a hard year.
Yeah, it's been something else.
So what is the highest grade you completed in school? Did you go to high school or college?
So I did some college, but it wasn't for me, and that's how I went into the Navy. Um, I didn't finish my degree. I just went for 2 years, and that was going for agricultural purposes to be able to own my own farm someday, be go from being a ranch hand to actually, doing the work myself and hiring people to work for me instead of being the person who's hired.
Oh wow. So you have your own farm right now?
No, I just live on a couple acres of land. We just
Okay.
recreational purposes.
Okay, nice. Um, were you ever in trouble for your behavior at school, or did you kind of stay out of trouble?
I did my best to stay out of trouble, but everyone's gonna, get into trouble whether it finds them or they find it. I got into a couple fights here and there. My brother got picked on quite a bit, and an older brother's got to stand up for his sibling. So,
So you were a protective older brother?
hmm
Nice. Um, so what was your first job if you have had one?
I never really had like a very official job before I went into the military. Like I said, I was more of like a ranch hand for the most part in high school and a little bit after high school. So it was like never like something that I got W-2 for. But I did that and I got paid it was actually a family friend. I worked on his ranch, and so I did that for the most part. And then I did start a professional Bronco riding career, but it got ended very short, like short amount of time. I got injured, so I couldn't continue to do that. I got some pins in my shoulder, so
Oh no, I'm sorry to hear
yeah,
about that.
yeah, it
Um,
was rough.
Do you currently handle your own personal finances?
Yes, I do. I mean, for the most part, the veterans, the VA takes care of a lot since, I got injured quite a bit um, in the Navy. So, yeah.
Do you have any significant problems handling money?
No, not really. I mean, numbers are numbers. They take
Hmm.
time to deal with, but I get through it.
Nice. So, now getting kind of into your military history.
Okay.
So, which branch did you serve in?
I was in the Navy.
Okay, and how many years were you in the Navy for?
Just under 11 years, so I would just say 10.
Okay, nice. Um, so did you have any traumatic experiences in the Navy or any like bad things that are still affecting you today from your military past?
Yeah, I mean, I went to combat quite a few times. I did 4 tours in Afghanistan, 10 to 12 months apiece. So besides like what I've already told you about, being away from my family for so long, you see things over there that, no one else sees and isn't used to. And you do it because, you're just trying to protect the people that, you're there with. People kind of really don't understand that. Like, in the United States, like who have never been out of it and never been in danger in their lives. But, it's at that point, it's kind of just you're doing it for the person to your left and right so you can both get back home.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. So, um, what type of discharge did you receive?
I was honorably discharged.
Okay, kind of getting into your medical history, I just want to get some background here. Are you aware of any complications during your birth?
No, I'm pretty sure I was good. My parents would have told me something. So,
Yeah. Did you crawl and walk and talk when you were supposed to? Do you know?
yeah.
Have you ever suffered from a head injury or a loss of consciousness?
Yeah, several times when I was serving, I had been hit by IED blasts, improvised explosive devices, um, whether I was in a vehicle or outside a vehicle, and I've been seen for them several times. But yeah, I've experienced those quite a few.
Are you currently being treated for any physical illnesses or injuries?
I go to physical therapy about twice a week for um, a multitude of different injuries I've sustained. It helps, and I do take some prescription medications to help with the pain and relaxing, also anxiety um, from those situations. But I think the situations, as under control as it can be for all that I've been through.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
So, what do you go to physical therapy for? What was that?
I go for basically all of my joints to strengthen my joints because I did a lot of physical activity. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, what they told me is my body's older than it should be. Um, Plus, just overall, like being more flexible and trying to recover from all the years of neglect.
Yeah, yeah, that's great that you're doing that. Um, so have you suffered from any seizures
No,
ever
no,
or any blackouts?
no, no blackouts. No,
Okay. Um, have you ever been physically abused?
no,
Have you ever been sexually abused
no, ma'am.
or emotionally abused?
No.
Okay, nice. So, kind of getting into your substance use history, when's the last time you've had alcohol?
Last night. I,
Okay,
yeah, I usually have either 1 or 2 beers with dinner, depending on what I'm having.
okay.
Yeah,
Um, so you wouldn't say you're abusing it, just kind of a casual drink?
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I'll be honest. Like I used to probably in the right circumstances, in someone else's eyes, be abusing alcohol. Like during my service, it was kind of a coping device. So, but I've since then, gotten over and through that portion of my life. So it's definitely more just, for enjoyment and not a coping mechanism.
Yeah. Well, that's great. You're not using it as a coping mechanism anymore. Do you use cigarettes
No.
or marijuana?
I mean, I've used marijuana a couple times, but I don't use it actively.
Nice. Do you use any cocaine, opioids, hallucinogens, or amametaphines?
No, that's too extreme for me.
Good, good. So, you said you used to use alcohol as a coping mechanism, but you've kind of learned how to not to do that anymore. So
hmm
you never had any substance related problems like a DUI or like a family friend concerned or acting out or
No,
anything?
I mean, my wife did confront me about it a couple times, and it took a couple times for me to realize that I did need to do something about it. Because at the time I didn't really think I had a problem. I felt like it was just, something I did rather than something, that was a problem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Have you ever been to AA or no?
Yeah,
Anonymous?
I wouldn't say it was an AA meeting, but it was definitely like a support group. Some
Nice.
people who were struggling with the similar issues, and it definitely helped me to understand that like I'm not the only person that's dealing with the same issues the same way.
Yeah, do you think that the AA helped you get over the as much
Yeah,
alcohol you were drinking? Do you
yeah,
think it
it
helped
definitely
you?
it definitely did because it kind of provided a sense of accountability. Like
Yeah.
everybody else like cared is just as much about someone else getting over it as they did.
Yeah, nice. It's good to have that social support. So, do you have any current charges against you or a past criminal record?
No,
Do you have a family history of mental illness?
no, no.
Okay. Um, so, how would you describe your mood generally?
Um, I feel like as far as mood goes, I feel like I'm a happy person.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely, times where like, when I remember the people that I've served with, who've since passed, um, it's hard and it comes back to me a lot, but um, I just remember, like the times that we were together, and I'm thankful for that and that they're hopefully in a better place now.
Mm-hmm. Do you
But
ever have any nightmares or anything of your war combat?
yeah, it comes back to me in times that I wish it wouldn't a lot. I've had some issues sleeping, you know, traumatic dreams, like I'm back overseas in the same situations, and I wake up in kind of a frightened state, and it freaks me out. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know what to do about that and how to make it go away because it's something I feel like I can't control because it's like my subconscious like brain activity or whatever it's called. So,
Mm-hmm.
but
How do you usually deal with that after waking up from a bad dream? Are you usually up for the rest of the night, or do you try to like calm down, or do you just try to
um,
go right back to sleep?
I mean, I feel like there's been times where I do fall right back to sleep, but there's definitely times where it's so like vivid that I wake up and I just don't want to go back to sleep because I don't want that dream to start back up where it left off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I may just end up being awake till I go back to sleep the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And that those times it does kind of affect my mood during the day because I just don't want to deal with anything because I'm so tired and you know it's not like I chose to be like in a bad mood, but I'm all of a sudden, kind of just like not putting up with anything because I haven't slept.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying that your nightmares keep you up at night and not able to go back to sleep, so you're having a kind of irritable, tired mood throughout the day.
Yeah, yeah, that probably would be what I mean by that.
Mm-hmm. Um, do you have any suicidal thoughts or any suicidal gestures?
No.
Um, so we kind of touched on this before, but do you have any anxiety or stress or worry throughout the day?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, since I spent so much time in a hostile environment, it's caused me to have this lingering, always on guard effect kind of thing. Like everything just kind of, makes me twitch out, and I'm always like paying attention to my surroundings, like I'm in a hostile environment. Like something as simple as like a neighbor's dog barking like continuously like sets me off, and I just like, get tunnel vision,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just focused on that situation, and like what I would do if, like, say for instance, the dog attacked my children or something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's just kind of like an always reoccurring thing in certain situations.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever put yourself at harm or others in harm due to that like worry or tunnel vision?
Um, there's definitely been a few times where like I felt like I was in a bad situation that I may have done something if like it had proceeded the way I was expecting it to, but it didn't. So
Mm-hmm.
I know I've never like, harmed somebody because of those like um circumstances, but
Mm-hmm.
I would have probably if uh, because I was prepared for it.
Mm-hmm. So, do you have any irritability with your tiredness during the day?
Like, do I get like irritated because
Yeah.
I'm tired, or like do I get mad at myself for being tired?
Um, Kind of both. Like, do you experience any irritability throughout the day?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I get irritated because I'm tired, but I think I also get mad at myself for being, like that I can't get past that, and it continues to happen. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I end up just getting just more mad at myself in general because it's like I'm the one who's causing myself this kind of struggle.
Yeah, yeah. So you're kind of getting irritable at yourself, is what you're saying, for being
Yeah,
irritable. Yeah.
definitely, because I don't want
Um,
it to affect
yeah.
anyone else.
Do you have any delusions or hallucinations?
Um, no, I haven't had that experience before.
Do you have any previous diagnosis?
I've been to counseling a few times, but they've never told me directly that I have this, that, or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because they were more just counselors than actual like a clinical psychologist or something. So,
Mm-hmm. So did you have any psychological testing there?
they had me fill out, kind of like how you did the information sheets or anything, but they never know about psychological testing.
Mm-hmm. And you said you're taking some medication for your anxiety right now. Is that
Hmm.
correct? Okay.
Yeah.
Are you on any other medications?
I'm on muscle relaxers to help with like muscle pains in my lower back. But yeah, just the medication for anxiety and that
Mm-hmm.
for the most part. I have ibuprofen, like in strong dosages for like times when my injuries flare back up, but I don't take it every day.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So how do you spend a typical day?
Well, so I'll wake up and I do go to work. I work at with disabled veterans. What we do is we try to, make gyms for them, and like personal training equipment for those who, have like missing limbs or whatever. So it's an environment that they can use to stay physically active. We do that for most of the day. I come home, spend time with my family and my kids. I'll probably do some, you know, maintenance around the house if I need to, just like cleaning or yard work or whatever, in the evening and on the weekends. But yeah, just I live a typical like 9 to 5 life right now.
Mm-hmm. Would you say your job working with disabled veterans helps you cope with the traumatic experiences you had in the war, or do you think they kind of make them worse?
I think it definitely helps me because just being around those people, like it feels like they're my people still, you know?
Mhm.
Like I
Yeah.
relate to them a lot better than, you know, people who never did serve, and they relate to me too, and it helps them get through their struggle because, you know, I may not be missing a limb, but I'm internally struggling a lot, and
Mhm.
they're
Yeah.
struggling externally, so it's kind of like we help each other get through our own struggles.
Yeah, that's great. So what kind of things do you like to do for fun?
I like to go shooting still a lot. I own a lot of different kind of guns. I teach my kids to shoot safely, and we go hunting during different seasons. Uh, Besides that, and working with the disabled veterans, I train law enforcement too. That's just kind of like a volunteer like thing I do. Um, Not very consistently, but here and there. I like to go camping a lot too. So
Nice, nice. So recently, have you noticed a deterioration in your personal care?
no, I feel like I take care of myself fairly well. I mean, my wife does a lot of it too, but
Do you have a recent marked constriction of interest in activities?
don't really know what that means. But I'm gonna go
Um,
say no because if I knew what it meant, I probably would have an answer.
just like, have you lost interest in any of your activities
Oh, okay.
recently?
No, I don't feel like I have.
Good, good. Do you feel like you have an impaired ability to interact with others?
I definitely like get standoffish with the wrong type of people, like people that I just, you know, the best way to put it honestly is I know whether I like somebody or not in a very brief amount of time, and
Mm-hmm.
it's hard for me to get along with people that I just have decided I don't like.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. So, do you have an impaired ability to understand, remember, or carry out instructions? Good, good. So you kind of told me about your social life, how you go to work during the day and then you like to hang out with your family when you get home from work. Do you have any friends you like to hang out with or anything?
um, I don't have very many close friends anymore because well, I do and I don't. I like most of my close friends I served with, and they live in different states now, so it's kind of like hard to see them.
Mm-hmm.
That or they've passed away. I've lost a lot of good friends, so there's that as well. So
Mm. So, can you describe kind of your, I guess, your romantic relationship with your wife? I know you talked about how it's hard to be separated from her for a long period of time. Do you think that like impacts your marriage, or do you think it makes your marriage stronger?
um, I feel like as a younger individual, and when our relationship was younger, it was definitely harder, and we didn't see how strong it was going to end up making our relationship. And now I'm thankful, like you know, that it we saw it through, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and didn't give up on it because we do have a stronger relationship now because of it and all that we've been through. So, um, I would say we have a very good relationship.
Good, good. So how do you handle an argument with like either your wife or your friend or another family member?
I try to see of it more, less of an argument and more of just, you know, like two people um, discussing some like a disagreement.
Yeah, yeah. So you
And
see it more as a disagreement.
I think it's important to understand that sometimes you may not solve the disagreement because, you know, people just have different opinions, and sometimes that's just all you got there is to it, you know.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great way to see it, just as a disagreement. So our session's coming to an end right now, but I just kind of want to go over everything we talked about today. So it seems like your your years away in combat kind of impacted you with like your relationship with your wife and your children, but you were able to see that separation as a way to make your relationship stronger,
Hmm.
and how um, your combat has kind of like put you in a perspective that most people don't get to see, like how you're trying to protect the person next to you. And a lot of people have never been in danger, so they can't really understand what you've been through. And sometimes this combat gives you nightmares and like keeps you up at night, which kind of impacts your mood and kind of makes you feel irritable at yourself for having a tired mood and getting irritable at other people. But
Mhm.
you find your job rewarding because you're with your people, and it kind of helps you cope with the combat. So yeah, was I understanding you correctly?
Yeah, that's pretty on spot right there. So what do we do from here? Do I schedule my next appointment or?
Yeah, you can do that with the front desk, and
Okay, yeah, I'll just see the secretary on the way out then.
yeah, yeah, perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming in today, Chris.
Okay, bye now.